And we're back. You're listening to the Talking Box with Billy C Show. You're watching us on the Fight Now television channel. Glad you could join us. If you don't have Fight Now in your sports channel lineup, you need to call your local television provider and tell them that you want Fight Now right now. It's that simple, man. Pick up the phone and call them for all the information about the channel. You can find it on their website, www.fightnow.com. And speaking of now, joining us in one of my favorite divisions in boxing, undefeated prospect Dimar Ortuz. Good morning, Dimar.
Hey, good morning, man.
What's going on, man? Glad you could join us and take some time this early in the morning. First of all, you're in the Cruiserweight division. I love the Cruiserweight division, man. I'm hoping that you're going to stay with the Cruiserweight division. Is that a weight you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, it sure is. I've been fighting comfortably at 190, between 190 195, and I like it, man. There's not too many big guys, and it's a division where it's basically overweight, like heavyweight.
Well, the thing is I'm a big historian, and our show, we talk a lot about, the old-time fighters and everything else. And when you really start to look at the all-time greats, the Rocky Marcianos, even Muhammad Ali, even a guy like Jack Johnson, I mean, these guys weren't that big. I mean, compared to today's heavyweights, I mean, really, they were cruiserweights. And I don't understand why, a lot of boxing fans, they're missing out with the cruiserweight division. I think it should be a lot more popular. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a lot of good names. Antonio Tarver, BJ Flores, Eddie Green, even James Toney for a while was a cruiserweight. It's an exciting division. It's just not put out there, at least over here in the United States. The United States, the middleweights and the lighter guys have the action right now over here. But I do understand that the cruiserweight division is pretty big in like Europe and on the other side of the world.
Yeah, no. I didn't. I think you might have taken it the wrong way. I love the cruiserweight division and I love the weight class. My point is, well, the point's the money. A lot of these guys that are fighting at cruiserweights or could fight at cruiserweight. A good example is Eddie Chambers. And what does he do? He goes to the heavyweight division because it's more lucrative. And I just think that the cruiserweight should be paid comparable. They should get the money, and I think we would get a lot better cruiserweights out there. What do you think?
I think there is a lot of good cruiserweights. Eddie Chambers is a pretty good cruiserweight as well. He keeps on Facebook and he's looking for a fight. And I'm always open to the challenge. He's always looking for a fight. I put my undefeated thing on the line. But this division right now, it's mostly weak because it's they don't advertise it. We're not advertised as much. We're not put on display on pay-per-view. So like you said, it's a very exciting division. It's just right now it just needs to be exposed.
I agree.
There's a lot of fast hands. There's not really a lot of holding, and there's not really a lot. There's a lot of punching.
Yeah, and you got the pop too. I mean, I agree with you. I love the division, and I think that I just hope that the pool of cruiserweights, more and more guys, stay in the cruiserweight division instead of trying to move up. That was my point. Speaking about undefeated records, you're 8-0 with 5 knockouts. It doesn't look like you're afraid to fight anybody. You've already got you faced 2 fellow undefeated fighters and came out with W's both times. Tell me about that. Are you trying to move along quickly to get a shot at a belt, or is it just the way the chips are falling, or what?
Well, the first guy, Dante Woods, he actually fought for United States. He represented us in a few international tournaments as an amateur. Went up to Michigan and actually worked out in the school they have out here in Michigan. I forgot what the name is. It's a college that has boxing, and mostly everybody goes through it for that goes to the Olympics. So, anyways, I fought him, and I took that fight just to prove a point, actually, to show everybody that I'm actually ready. This guy was a boxer. He was 8-0 with 7 knockouts at the time, and it was a little intimidating, and I wasn't expected to win, but I pulled it out. And with Terry Martin, Terry Martin actually he challenged me, and so I took the challenge. I took the fight. I don't back down. I didn't want to have that whole. I don't have this whole thing that I'm trying to pick my fighters. I take whoever's put in front of me, and that's where I go along. I'm not hiding from anybody, and I would love to get a shot at whoever's on top.
Well, I'm loving that, man, and we most of my viewers and listeners that's the biggest argument. There are too many fighters. They're afraid to fight anybody good, and here we're looking at a cruiserweight that's got 8 fights under your belt as a pro, and you've already fought pretty stiff competition. And from what I understand, both of those fights that you referred to, Terry Martin and Donta Woods, they were the hometown guy, right? They were wasn't that a Bobby Hitz show?
Yeah, it's Bobby Hitz. Only Terry Martin was home. He's also from Chicago. Donta Woods is from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay, all right. But like you said, you went in as the dog, right?
Yeah. No,
Not in your mind.
Anybody you put in front of me.
Not in your mind. I'm saying they were thinking that.
Yeah. No. It was, like I said, I had no credentials. I've only won the Golden Gloves as an amateur. I pulled away from the sport due to personal problems in my life. I just came back in 2010, and just to make just so I wouldn't have that at 40 years old. I wonder what could have been, what should have been. I'm taking all doubts out of my future, basically. So I'm willing to take on anybody, anywhere, any place. It doesn't matter. I train for everybody like the world champions, whether they have a losing record or not.
So tell me about your amateur career. You said you won the Golden Gloves. Was that in Chicago?
Yes, I won the Golden Gloves in 2002 at 201. I went to Colorado, and man, I waited so long to fight. I waited 9 hours to fight. I just didn't have the fight in me when it came down to our match, and I was just slumpy, and I didn't really put no effort into the fight. I lost in decision, and after that, I just never went to fight again. My mom passed away, and I became a family man, and that was it.
Was boxing something that always was kind of haunting you, like you said a little earlier? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, and then all of a sudden you found yourself with that desire, and do you think it worked out better for you? I mean, it seems like you really take your trade serious, and a lot of times when fighters go into the sport when they're too young, even though a lot of people push them, when they're young because of age thing. But maybe they're not ready mentally. Is that something where you think you might have an advantage?
You know what? I've had this conversation actually with my coach and a few other people. Whether if I would have probably had a little bit more success as a younger fighter or as a fighter now, and most of the answers come out that I think I'm more mature now because I actually understand what's the seriousness of this game. I'm a union laborer here in Chicago. I'm a local 6 union laborer, and I just quit my job. I never went back to my job. This is a $38 an hour job. I decided to put all that to the side and decided to go to the gym full time. So I've risked a lot for hopefully, a little payback right now, but I'm looking at the long run. I'm looking at 2 years from now, hopefully, holding a few titles in my around my waist and over my shoulders.
Well, I'm loving hearing that, man, because like I told you several times, I'm a big cruiserweight fan. For all of my viewers and listeners out there that have never seen you fight, how would you describe your style? Like, how would you describe yourself to someone who's never seen you ever?
Well, I study a lot. I study in the ring a lot. I'm on hand. I might train one way for a fighter, and the fighter doesn't come out like how we work for it. I throw in my audibles. I'm more of a little old school rugged fighter. I like pushing to the ropes. I like punching in between the holds. and if it comes down to it, I can box. I believe I have excellent defense. Right now, I've been sparring partners for Carlos Molina, getting him ready for almost all last year, for all his fights last year on ESPN, and the big one against Kirkland over there in Texas that he got disqualified in. I felt Donovan George, Andre Fonseca, get ready for this guy Johnson. I've helped him get ready for Tom. I'm one of the sought out sparring partners out here in Chicago. I also fight both, so I fight orthodox and southpaw.
You fight as
so I have,
you fight as a southpaw as well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I fight both styles. In the middle of the fight, I switch a lot. I favor mostly the southpaw, but I have a unique style. I push and hold and punch. So it's real hard to figure me out at times. I give a lot of people over here in Chicago difficult time sparring.
Well, you fought a couple of weeks ago. You fought in the middle of February. You got anything on the horizon? You know when you're going to be fighting again?
I just fought in February 15th. I will be fighting on Bobby His next card in April 20th, I believe, at the Horseshoe Casino. My opponents right now that I'm trying to line up, I'm trying to get ready to fight top 10 contenders. So I'm not picking guys that I want to walk over. I'm picking guys that are going to come to win, to come give me a fight. That I had people coming to come watch me fight. I don't want to say, I don't want them saying, well, that guy was a bum or a walkover. Dude, you're not fighting nobody. So I'm fighting people that are challenging, that come to win, that don't get knocked out, that last the rounds. Because at the next level, there is no really. There's knockouts, but there's really more boxing matches than if there is anything.
Well,
so I'm trying to learn how to go the distance.
Well, I'll tell you what, a thing that we're always talking about is, and my opinion, is by doing what you're doing, you get better, right? If you're going to face somebody that's a test, it's only can improve your game. And I think that a lot of fighters that are constantly fighting, opponents that are way undermatched for them, they're not learning anything. They're not getting better. Do you feel that by stepping up your level of competition at every fight, do you think you're getting better and better?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm a student of this game, and every fight is a different learning experience for me. And I learned something new. The last fight I'm learning how to fight a southpaw. The top guy in my division is Antonio Tarver here in the States. A southpaw, a well-decorated southpaw. So I'm just putting in the line on fire who's up there, and who can give me a challenge. And like I said, I don't want nothing easy. I don't need an easy button. I'll take the hard road, and I'll show everybody that I'm well worth the hype.
Well, you sound like a breath of fresh air in the cruiserweight division, and you certainly have sparked my interest. I know we're going to have some guys ringside covering that fight at the Horseshoe the next time you fight. So we'll be looking for you, and stay in contact because I'd love to follow your career, and I wish you all the best, my man.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for the interview and thanks for your time.
All right, brother. Good luck, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. That's undefeated cruiserweight, Dimar Ortuz. And I tell you what, man, this kid, he's saying everything that I want to hear. First of all, I love the cruiserweight division. You guys know that. That's first of all. Second of all, he's seeking out the best opposition, man. You can't ask for better than that. Hey, listen, keep your eyes on Dimar Ortuz. This guy, look, I'll be honest, I never saw him fight. I never did. But just listening to him makes me want to see him fight, and that's the key. Hey, I got to take a break. We'll be right back.